only between 2 and 3% of the population knows anything about it. And so it's started in 2002 under the George Bush administration, and it's been around for 24 years now, but only 2 or 3%. But again, if you look at who controls the money in this country, if you're a financial advisor, if you're a broker or whatever, financial, you don't want anybody, you want to make your money by managing other people's money. So if I move people's money out of what I call the matrix in Wall Street and let them have some money in real estate or private equity, private loans, tax liens, that's another thing real estate people can really get into on.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today we're joined by Ross Powell, the founder of Survival 401k, where he helps entrepreneurs, real estate investors, and 1099 professionals unlock retirement capital through self-directed solo 401k plans. Ross, thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you, sir. Great being with you. Thanks, Dylan.
Now, when we talk about retirement for self-employed folks, I'm sure you see lots of mistakes happening all the time, but what is the biggest mistakes that you see self-employed people commonly making?
Well, most of them lock themselves into an IRA or a self-employment IRA, a SEP IRA, and those come with large constraints. So, excuse me. So they don't allow you to have access to your money. There's a custodian in between you and your money. And so, but the solo 401k, we are more aligned with you control it. There's checkbook control. You are in control. So that's the big difference. Somebody else on the IRA side they're controlling it. On this other, you're controlling it. So it depends on who you want to control your money. And so that's the major difference. And the amount of money you can put away is significantly different.
Let's talk about that, right? So there's limits when you have an IRA, to my knowledge. On a 401k, are there limits?
Sure. Every plan, the IRS sets limits, right? So in a basic IRA, you have like a limit of 8,000. It changes by the year. A SEP IRA is higher. It's similar in numbers to the 401k, but again, it's locked up with a custodian. You don't have the loan function. But on an average person under 50 years old on the 401k can put away up to $72,000 a year. If you're over 50, they add another 8,000 to 80, and in between 63 and 65, I believe that's the number now, you can add another 4,000 or 5,000. So you can actually get up to like 84,000. So it's a huge boon for you. So if you have an up year as a real estate agent and you're ringing the bell on your commissions that 1 year, then you can put away a lot of it and shield it from taxing, right? So then in your down year, you can access that money through loan functions or distributions, whatever, if you're having a lean year. It gives you a lot of flexibility, and you control the purse. Your money sits in a business checking account at your local bank.
You mentioned loan function, and we had talked about this briefly in the green room. I was not familiar that you could take out a loan against a 401k without incurring a penalty. Are most folks aware of that, or is this something that they're surprised by as well?
Well, the thing about the whole product itself, the solo 401k, only between 2 and 3% of the population knows anything about it. And so it's started in 2002 under the George Bush administration. And it's been around for 24 years now, but only 2 or 3%. But again, if you if you look at who controls the money in this country, if you're a financial advisor, if you're a broker or whatever, financial, you don't want anybody, you want to make your money by managing other people's money. So if I move people's money out of what I call the matrix in Wall Street and let them have some money in real estate or private equity, private loans, tax liens, that's another thing real estate people can really get into on.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
You can actually make a lot of money. So, but the function with the loan, it's 50% of your balance or $50,000 maximum. So that could be a 5-year note for your, just a general thing, like you're, use something for real estate. You need a bridge loan for a real estate transaction. Or if it's your primary dwelling, your homestead, it could be between 15 and 30 years. And that lock yourself in at prime +2 or whatever the current CD rates are plus a couple of points. So generally right now you're looking at between 5 and 6.5% cheap money. And that's the quickest and easiest credit pull you'll ever do because you're writing yourself the check. You're approving yourself in the credit profile. So it can be used as a line of credit as well for yourself.
I've had a lot of folks on the show who are in the life insurance space. It's just separate from what we're talking about here, but I'd like to get your perspective. This infinite banking concept associated with life insurance, what's your personal feedback on that versus a solo 401k?
Well, I mean, they each have their niche, right? So the bank on yourself, I think is what you're talking about, or something similar to that, where you're on a whole life policy and you're building cash value. And you can take loans from yourself or you can take distributions because you paid the money in. You can take the money out tax-free. The solo 401k has a similar because you can put, you roll your money into that. So you have legacy plans all over the country. Let's say your second career is real estate and you got let go from, say, Exxon and you roll over 300,000 from Exxon, right? So you roll that 300,000 into the 401k and that money's sitting there to invest in whatever you want. It could be Wall Street or it could be Main Street. You're getting into, you're investing in all these different types of rental properties. And that's the benefit of the 401k is that you're not subject to the UBTI, the unrelated business tax income. So income tax. So essentially, if you're in an IRA or a SEP IRA, you're going to pay this 35% unforgivable tax if you're doing any kind of business. And if you also have UDFI, which is the unrelated debt financing income. So that's, again, another tax you have to pay. So with the IRAs, you have to pay those taxes. And if you use non-recourse lending, so you can get a loan. Let's say you have 300,000 in your 401k and you want to buy this $500,000 property. You put 40% down and then you then finance the rest. And then the mortgage is paid by your renter. Or if it's like a strip mall or whatever you're doing, your rental income pays your mortgage, but you don't pay any income tax on that loan. Whereas an IRA, you would do that. So a significant difference between an IRA, SEP IRA, and a 401k.
I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, well, what would be the benefit of ever getting an IRA if I have access to a product like this? Is there a situation where an IRA does make sense?
Well, if you again, for small investors and people that have small amounts of money, again, small businesses that just have side gigs that don't generate a lot of income. I mean, we generally have like a 15,000 to 20,000 rollover minimum because it's cheaper to pay the taxes on it than get one of our plans. And again, I try to be moral with people and don't want to sell them something that they don't need, right? So, well, there's others will take their money, but that's not morally, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you can do an IRA and you can set them up for your children as they get young, when they're young, and put money into their account for them. And then that actually helps them for their college or whatever they want to get into, trade school or whatever. So, but generally speaking, anybody that's making over, 12, 20, $20,000, I mean, a lot of first responders, firemen, police officers, doctors. I had local tenants, doctors that use this because, again, they get beaten to death in taxes. So if you have your primary job, let's say your side gig gets to be where it's really busy and you quit your main job. That's how I got into this business in the first place. I just did this as a side gig 12 years ago. And it got to be so busy because nobody had ever heard of it. And I got in on podcasts back in the day. And I got to be something I couldn't do my day job. I was a vice president of a very big bank, and I got to where I couldn't do my day job, so I had to quit. And then suddenly it just exploded, and now we're at 12 years. So it just, again, if you have your side gig and you start making some real money, that side money is on your 1040 is going to push you into another bracket. So if you can push all that side gig money into a 401k plan, then you can use it for loan facilities or invest in what you want. It makes a huge difference onto your, your long-term net worth.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Pivoting here, you mentioned also in the green room that you are getting into funding for real estate deals. What does that look like? Because this is a separate segment entirely from retirement planning, right?
Right, right. So I've been talking to small business. I'm part of a group called Unite SA, and it's in San Antonio. But it's just a small group of people 400 is not small, but 400 members. And it's growing, and it's going to be rolling out to other states, where you just have people that have like-minded and general belief systems. And so they try to do work inside with each other, try to do business with each other. And I was talking to the leader of that, and I said, we know we have funding for small businesses, and it could be for equipment, it could be for real estate, it could be just unsecured credit, it could be for SBA loans. There's something called ROBS, which is usually your 401k to fund a new business. So again, there was a real need out there. And so I did some research, and I found the people that we can work with out of California, and they can actually get people funded for up to $5 million. It could take 24 to 48 hours. So again, with all the automation they have, and the beast has all their information on you, right? And across the internet, they have everything they can find on you. So they could do a lot of work on getting you funded to get if you're starting a new business, if you want to buy a franchise, all those kind of things. And so now we've decided to go into that simply because it's an added service. If somebody needs more than 50,000, they can do with their 401k. We can roll over, and if you need to have a fix and flip, and you need 100,000 to do that, we can turn you on to the people that can do that for you.
Now, will you also advise folks on structuring, and forming their business? Because some of these are related. If someone's doing a flip, but they're also, retirement planning over here, I've heard, you want to have an LLC for each project, that type of thing. Will you advise folks there?
I can. I can guide them. I'm not a fiduciary. I'm not a financial planner. A licensed financial planner. Well, I'm not a real estate agent as well, but I have 12 years experience and 30 years, 40 years of a finance experience in banks and insurance companies. So we have a litany of people with lawyers, accountants, things like that we can put people into. So they actually help them. So if we get into some sticky wicket, I'll bring in an attorney to help them. Or if they need to do something to help their accountant understand, we'll send them over to somebody. But yes, I'll help you structure your company, set you up with an LLC, get you with an S corp, or get you with a bookkeeper or accountant for your S corp, so you can reduce your 15.9 self-employment tax that you don't want to pay, right? So that same 15.9 you'd pay to the government, you could put into your 401k plan every time. It makes a huge difference long term.
Taxes in general are so complicated for a lot of folks who are on the on-ramp and scaling as new business owners, especially realtors, right? And oftentimes people don't think about this until they've got a big tax bill to pay. Then they'll go look for the bookkeeper or the CPA who can help them rather than do it themselves. At what point in people's journey are they reaching out to you? Is it after they've already had a large cash windfall, or is it while they're, on that on-ramp, so to speak?
Well, they come from all different angles. Right? There's people that are leaving, they got laid off, or they finally retiring and they don't want to leave their money with their company, or they're starting their side gig and they're realizing they have 10,000 in this company and 15,000 in this company and 26 sitting over here. Then at the end of that, they'll say, well, if I tell them you can combine all that, now you almost have $50,000 to work with. That 10 and that 10 and that 26 doesn't really do you any good if you're, by themselves, because you can't really do much with that. So putting it together, that would be a nice down payment on a rental property. That's at 40%. Then you bring in your non-recourse lending. So that's again, if they don't know, most of this, a lot of times it's education on what they can do. And I have others saying, well, my business is getting big, but I don't want to have employees. They have 1099 employees, and that's the real key for the 401k. Is it's made for basically two-person business. So you can have as many 1099 employees as you want, but your W-2s can't be over 1,000 hours in a year. So it's great for a brokerage house or a real estate broker or something like that, because they can have all their agents are 1099. They may have a secretary, or they may have somebody that works 1,000 hours.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But that still allows them to put a bunch of money away and then also help their people. And for that, we have an affiliate program that helps them, even brokers or other real estate agents. If they bring people to us, that's another revenue stream that they can generate money by just referring people to us. So there's a lot of benefit. We have a lot of opportunities for that.
I'd like to get a little granular on being able to, fund your business. And you even mentioned keeping, people on payroll, if I'm not mistaken, 1099, right? And so when you're doing it in a 401k versus, traditionally other methods that people might be doing this, I'm imagining there's a big tax savings there. I know, tough to say, I'm putting you on the spot here, but on some level, what would that look like, or what might that look like for folks who have a few contractors that they're paying?
Well, sure. So the contract, but as long as they're 1099, you could have 10,000. It doesn't matter. As long as they're not W-2 employees and you're paying their taxes for them, it doesn't matter how many people you have. So the money comes in and they still get a 1099. They get paid. Let's say you get their commission based, and once a month, some people get 10,000, some people get 30, somebody gets something else based on their commission, right? So that doesn't matter, because you're not W-2, you're not filing taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and all the FICA stuff. So long as you're not doing that, and you're not doing their withholding, you're golden. Now you might have one person working in the office part-time, 1,000 hours a year or less, then that's fine. But anything after that, you can't. You'd have to move to a different kind of plan. But for the small, especially real estate agents, it's perfect.
Now, I've had folks on the show also talk about self-directed IRAs, and I've heard this term self-directed real estate IRAs, but I also understand that you have to have a certain degree of distance, if I'm not mistaken. You can't be actively managing. And if we compare that product to a 401k where you can take loans out, I mean, it seems to me that the 401k is, more utility. You can do more with it, right? Do you have folks who are comparing this product to, a self-directed IRA?
Well, absolutely. I mean, every day. I mean, I have folks just moving their IRAs into the 401k, because you can bring in, the IRS allows you to roll over almost every retirement plan, whether it's a 403b from a nonprofit, a 457a from a municipality working for a city or a county, your IRAs, your SEP IRAs, your simple IRAs, anything. The only thing you can't bring over is a Roth IRA, because it's after tax. Now you can bring a Roth 401k, and that's another big deal within the 401k plan, is you can move your money into what's called a Roth 401k. Then you can do this mega Roth conversion, and then all your money going forward is tax free. So you pay the tax up front, and then then everything grows tax free. You never pay tax again on any of that money. So that where you don't have that within the IRA, and you have a custodian. IRAs require a custodian. So it could be a self-directed custodian, or it could be your bank, or whoever it might be. But the buck stops with you. You are the fiduciary, you are the plan administrator, and you are the trustee. And if you're a married couple, that's, again, you can share those duties. And so it's both spouses can participate and double their money, as well as so if you have a couple that sells real estate together, it's lucky day at the races for them.
I'd be curious to see what lenders say about using a 401k as reserves. Do you know about this? If you need 6 months of reserves to buy a property or an investment property, could you use your 401k as proof of funds?
You could take the loan out and prove that, and put that loan in the bank and have that proof of funds.
And use that as proof of funds, yeah.
Because normally 401k retirement plans are not attachable. So if something goes south and you can't they need their money, they can't really go and get a charging order against a 401k.
Okay.
So from a bank, they won't use those reserves. They see that as your net worth, but they can't see that as where they could go after it if things go bad. But if you put if you need that reserve and it's under 50,000, or if you're together 100,000, that's no problem. Then the money sits there, you let it age, and the bank will see that as your reserves.
Now, you're doing something pretty unique. You mentioned only 1 to 2% of the population is even aware of this type of product. If folks already have, a bookkeeper and they do some level of tax strategy, can they keep their current team and still incorporate some of these tools that you had mentioned? Or do you really also need to be working with, a bookkeeper and a tax preparer who understands these products as well?
I mean, we can educate the people that they're using, right? I could turn them on to another accountant that can find it. And the information is readily available for accountants. And you have two types of accountants. You have one that's all about compliance and a basic vanilla, and you have one person that says, I want to try to save you money on taxes. They're two different animals. So this person's transaction based, where this one is more creative, planning based, right? So it depends on what kind of accountant you have. I have others that don't want anything to do with it, and others go, oh wow, that's great. Let me, I'm out, and they start sending me clients. So again, it's an education perspective, and understand what the compliance is very easy, right? There's not a lot of, but you have to be disciplined. You can't use this as a honeypot or whatever. It has to be, you have to be very disciplined, and you can't there's rules about, transactions you can't do, who you can transact with, those kind of things that to keep you out of the judgment zone, I call it. Keep you out of the eyes of the IRS.
So when folks are taking out these loans, it's best that they go to their accountant or someone who's managing their account, right? To understand if this is something that would be compliant or not before they go ahead and do it.
No. Again, this doesn't require an accountant to manage it for you. You can manage it yourself. So I have 500 and something clients, 550 something clients. The majority of them, but of some that have a lot of money and over $1 million or $2 million, they have somebody help them with that. But the average Joe or Jane that are sitting on 300,000 or 400,000 that they rolled over, they manage it themselves. They deal with it, and then there's some certain rules that have to be applied. So if you have over 250,000 in your plan, the only reporting you have to do on it, there's called a 5500 EZ, which is a simple 2-page document that you have to send in by the end of July every year or the prior year. So it's not hard. I mean, on our website, there's a compliance section that actually interviews you, and it actually generates the actual IRS form that you can mail in. So there's a lot of capability with that, so that we try to automate it and make it as easy for people, or we could consult with them and we help them do it if they don't understand. We do. That's pretty much.
We are coming up on time here, Ross. Any new projects that you're working on, and then also anything you'd like to mention directly to our audience?
Sure. I mean, we have we have our dedicated real estate page. So it's survival401k.com/real estate. And that's a specific page for real estate agents for them to learn. And then they can get $100 off, actually, the price of the plan. So that's sort of a thing for them. Then we will call them and get them set up and see what we can do to help them. The big other thing is the funding. It's funding.survival401k.com is another big project we're doing now. And so you can, if you just have questions, you can just go to survival401k.com and just click on the contact us, and we'll respond to you as soon as we can, and just talk through and whether it's a fit or it's not a good fit. And if it's not a good fit, but we know somebody it is a good fit for, we'll help you out. So I just look at this as almost like a mission to actually help people. So I started this to help people, and it turns out that it just became my job. So been doing it a long time. And if I don't know, I know somebody that can help you.
Ross, thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.